What is going on? Welcome to the Hot Take Hotline. I'm Jason Gold, joined by, we got the whole crew here today from James Rowe. We got Joey Mauriello, Dan Turner, Jeff Haseley. Welcome to the show, boys. Let's get the hot takes going. You ready?
Ready.
Ready.
All right, so here's the deal. Text us your hottest takes for NFL Week 8, 310-564-7176, and we will give them a nice look over. We'll judge them. We'll send you back some feedback on how hot we think the take is. Also, you can text us at that same number, 310-564-7176, if you want to win a Joe Mixon and Amari Cooper signed jersey this week. All you have to do is text us the code Spooky Season, and we'll send you a link to a private 7 stakes contest that you can enter. If you finish in first or second place, you will get one of those signed jerseys. We are also going to give away a Trayvon Walker and a Cortland Sutton signed jersey for the London game between the Jaguars and the Broncos. So stay locked into our socials for more information on that. And Daily Dozen, first of all, every day this week we're doing a 2-time multiplier. So we used to give away $1,200. We're giving away $2,400 this week if you go 12 for 12. And also, if you top the leaderboard for November, a Joe Burrow signed mini helmet is yours. Those are all the giveaways we have. Please play Daily Dozen with us. Use the promo code Daily Dozen for a $12 first-time bonus if you have never played with us before. All right, let's jump into it. We always start with the new king himself. What do you got, Joey?
All right. Head into New York. Head into the AFC East. The New York Jets are done. It was fun while it lasted. I know we had some predictions, but they're going to lose their next 6 games, and I really think that because of the loss of Breece Hall. Going against the Patriots, the Bills, bye week, Patriots again, Chicago, Minnesota, and Buffalo. They are going to lose every single one of those games.
That's definitely spicy.
That is spicy. I don't think the whole team is revolving around Breece Hall. I mean, they've done a lot defensively, so you have to throw that into consideration. Plus, the Bears, they were good last week. We've seen teams be good one week and bad the next. Unfortunately for the Bears, they've been bad more than they've been good. The Patriots seem to be going the opposite direction. I still think that the Jets, 5-2, the 5-2 Jets still have some gas in the tank. And James Robinson and Michael Carter combined can kind of give a good 1-2 punch. So I'm not sure I agree with that. But again, hot, spicy take.
I mean, I definitely don't agree. I have the Jets making the playoffs this year, so I can't possibly agree with them losing the next 6 games. Like you said, Jeff, I think that them trading for James Robinson and also having Michael Carter more than makes up for what they lost in Breece Hall. I think that running game isn't going to disintegrate just because Breece Hall isn't there anymore. Hopefully, Zach Wilson improves as a passer because they will need that. I don't think they'll beat the Bills. I think that the Patriots don't even know who their quarterback is, much less. The Jets have to be really worried about where they're going, and the Bears are still the Bears. So to lose to all of them, I think I agree. I think that they'll lose to the Bills because everyone loses to the Bills. But I think they'll be able to at least split with the Patriots and then beat the Bears at the very least in that stretch.
All right.
I kind of like the take.
Yeah.
It has less to do with Breece Hall and more to do with, one, they've been really lucky thus far this season. Number 2, Zach Wilson has still looked like absolute trash. And number 3, their offensive line is now worse. Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be out a long time. So the offensive line is worse. Your quarterback sucks. You lost your number 1 running back, even though I agree that running backs really don't matter that much. And your defense, I believe, is probably going to deteriorate a little bit and or face better opponents in which they're going to have a tougher time being as successful as they have thus far. So do I think they're going to lose the next 6? No. Do I think that they can beat the Patriots this weekend? Yes. But do I think that they're generally on a downslide? Abso-frickin-lutely. I'm all over that. I love it.
Perfect.
I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Flacco is somehow in the next couple weeks named starting quarterback. We'll put that in the hot takes backpack there.
I like that.
I like that piggyback take.
Piggyback hot take.
The piggyback hot take. It's like a pickleback shot. It's the piggyback hot take. All right, Jeff, why don't we go to you?
All right, so let's start with a guy who's kind of, in my opinion, been knocked off the throne. We're talking about 2 back-to-back MVP seasons from Aaron Rodgers, but I say he's done as a reliable fantasy quarterback for sure, and possibly even reliable quarterback. I mean, if you look at his games, what he's done here, he's lost 3 of the last 4 with the Packers, with barely escaping from the struggling Bucs and the Patriots. And if you look at his last 29 games, he has only 3 300-yard passing games. So he already is not a very strong rushing threat. So he doesn't have that. And now he's losing his 300-yard games. They've lost Devontae Adams. Alan Lazard is hurt. Randall Cobb's on IR. Christian Watson hasn't arrived. I don't think he trusts any of his receivers, and you can clearly see it. Their running game is struggling. I just think that Rodgers, this is a sunset of his career, and that sun is setting.
I'm with you. I agree. I think Rodgers is on his way out, and I think this offseason really showed he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. I mean, like, clearly it's frustrating, but you lost your best receiver, and you just lose the last 3 games. That's unheard of for Aaron Rodgers. They look terrible. They're 20th in the league in points scored. That offense is a mess. And your last 2 losses, just on top of it, are to the Commanders and the Jets. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Rodgers is on his way out. I don't trust him as a fantasy quarterback either.
Yeah, I agree. I think, their upcoming matchup against the Bills isn't going to help either. And he has a bunch of tough games coming up. And like Joey said, he doesn't trust any of his receivers. I mean, we thought that Romeo Doubs might, break out into that number 1 role, but he really hasn't taken that over as of yet. Alan Lazard, I never really understood Alan Lazard being this big deal thing. Yeah, he's been in the system a couple of years, but it wasn't like just because Devontae Adams left, Alan Lazard suddenly became this awesome receiver. He never was, and he's never going to be. So I think that, Christian Watson doesn't have the trust for Rodgers either. And he just doesn't have what he needs to have. He doesn't have that fire in him anymore to be that top guy. And the fact that they're so far behind already in the NFC North, the Vikings are running away with that division. It just, as the weeks goes on, there's a worry that he can care less and less as the playoffs become much more in the distance as a goal.
Yeah, you look like to explode, Jason.
I know.
The Green Bay Packers are beating the Buffalo Bills. I'm not fucking with you.
There's no chance of that happening. No chance.
Oh, man.
Well, good thing that Vegas accepts my fucking bets on this shit, because the Green Bay Packers are going to win at the Buffalo Bills this weekend. They will cover the 11-point spread. This is what Rodgers does. As soon as you think he's out, as soon as you thought he was out of the league, you know what happened? 2-time MVP. You think that the season's over? No. Green Bay Packers walk into Buffalo. Buffalo sleepy off a bye. Green Bay Packers are a desperate, desperate team. They walk in there. They use A.J. Dillon more as a running back, Aaron Jones more as a wide receiver. I think that Aaron Jones splits out over 50% of the snaps this week. I think they get going. I think that the Green Bay Packers defense shows some fight against this tough Buffalo Bills offense. Green Bay Packers win this game against the Buffalo Bills 27-23. Lock it in, baby.
He even has the score. Oh man, Jason, you know what? If that comes out to be true, man, you're gonna come out smelling like a rose. But I just don't see that happening at all.
I will film myself walking into the Circus Sportsbook on Sunday morning and placing a big ass bet on the Green Bay Packers at +11 in money line. And when I come home and we do this hot takes next week, and I'm just rubbing cash all over myself, don't feel badly.
Don't feel badly. Quick breaking news. Not that this really matters, but Mac Jones is starting Sunday against the Jets. Just a breaking news.
Horrible idea.
For one series, and then they go back to Zap.
Oh,
maybe the Jets don't lose their next 6. Yeah. All right, who's next?
All right, I think it's my turn. To piggyback, keeping with the Green Bay Packers theme, I think that we're going to have a blockbuster trade before the trade deadline. The Green Bay Packers are trading A.J. Dillon to the Denver Broncos for Jerry Jeudy.
Ooh.
Wow. I like that. I would love to see Jeudy with Rodgers.
Wow. That would be super spicy. What do they do with Melvin Gordon? Because he ain't going to be happy. They trade him too?
The thing they're doing with Melvin Gordon now, which is nothing. Considering they're giving more carries to Mike Boone of all people. They don't seem to trust Gordon. A.J. Dillon fits perfectly into the Denver offense. Judy's obviously on the outs, and it gives Rodgers his number 1 receiver that he so desperately needs.
I like that take, Dan. That's hot, spicy, and somewhat accurate.
Yeah,
gotta love that.
You rarely see the 1-for-1 in-season NFL trade. Usually it's for picks, and usually they don't happen at all. So JEUDY for A.J. Dillon would be super spicy. I would not be surprised if that trade happened if Melvin Gordon would go back to Green Bay as part of that, and another wide receiver or another element went to Denver from Green Bay. There's no way if they trade for A.J. Dillon, they can't keep Melvin Gordon. They got to do something. Cut him, trade him, whatever. But I don't think that Green Bay can go in there and say, okay, Aaron Judge, you're just going to be our running back. I actually think that Melvin Gordon, getting him back in that trade would make a lot of sense. It just depends on what the price is from the other side.
Yeah.
Plus, you already have that Wisconsin connection with Melvin Gordon.
There you go. Way to bring it home for me, Jeff.
Yep.
There you go. That's strong, man. Dan, I like that one.
Thank you.
I like it. I like it a lot, too. I definitely think that Green Bay is basically forced at this point into making a trade for a number one type wide receiver at this point. What are the other options out there that they could possibly go get right now?
DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Carolina has said that they're content with what they have unless it's an absolute bargain of a deal on their end.
Elijah Moore?
Yeah, maybe. That's
Chase Claypool? Not that he's number one, but Claypool seems to be out there. Yeah. It could be Deontay. I mean, he did sign the deal with them. Like, that was the rumor before the season that they would go for Deontay, but he signed a deal with Pittsburgh. Claypool has looked really, really confident with Kenny Pickett, and he seems to really like him. So, I don't know. To me, JEUDY's tough. Why? In a macro view, why would you want to trade Jerry JEUDY? Just because he hasn't lived up to the hype there? Or because it's a fire sale in Denver?
Both.
because they need a running back.
I would say fire sale. Denver's just a mess to begin with.
Yeah.
They don't need a running back. Why would you trade? See, this, I think now that we talk about it more, this is my biggest problem with the trade. JEUDY to Green Bay makes more sense than Dillon back, because why would you invest in a running back if you're rebuilding as a team? It makes absolutely no sense. And you have Javonte Williams coming back next year.
And Tim Patrick.
I don't know how. Does he play running back too?
No,
he's a
receiver.
No, that was a joke.
Oh, okay.
It sounded like a serious question.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I mean, do we know Javonte's going to be back as Javonte next year? I mean, he shredded his leg.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's
it wasn't like
gonna
it
be
wasn't like
another 2
an
years
ACL
out.
or just an Achilles. It was like multiple ligaments, and
Yeah,
just
it's
like
also-
completely torn. So
Just like Dobbins.
right. So
It's also a running back.
You're right, but I mean, Denver seems to want that running back, like as part of their identity.
Well, we don't know who's going to be
Russell
the,
Wilson. Go ahead.
who's going to be the head coach. It ain't going to be Hackett, because
It's not
I
going
mean
to
the
be
rumors,
No,
the rumors
Hackett's
are already
fired after-
out there right now that he's going to be fired if they don't beat the Jaguars. I hope his ass gets left in Denver.
But there's your connection to the
hilarious.
trade, though. There's your connection to the trade with Green Bay, though. Hackett
Yeah, if he's the head coach next week. I don't know if he's going to be the head coach next week.
next week.
I just need him to last one more week. Who would be a good head coach next year? I don't know.
Hunter Renfrow?
As a
As
head coach?
Yeah,
no,
sure.
sorry. I thought you were talking about receivers back to Green Bay.
I would like.
I mean, there's-
from Green Bay would be pretty good actually. I'd like that a lot.
There's one guy out there, it's Sean Payton, and everyone's going to be circling for him. I don't think Miami probably is at this point. Obviously, the rumor was there that they would. But, the Chargers definitely in play. I am sure that Sean Payton thinks that having Herbert's a better idea than having Russell Wilson at this point.
Can we
I don't know
talk
why
about
he
Can we talk about Sean Payton for a second? So
Sure.
he retired, yet there's all this talk about trades to New Orleans. New Orleans owns his rights. Is
Yeah.
that the plan
Yes.
Yeah, on his rights.
Yes, for 2 more years.
there? Okay. So then New Orleans, they'd have to receive something in compensation if Peyton were to coach somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd probably get like a second-round pick or something like that.
Okay. So I was curious about that. Coach retires. That's kind of like, what was it, Calvin Johnson when he retired, right? There were other teams who were interested in him, and then they would have to pay Detroit some sort of compensation.
Mhm.
But then there was Brett Favre. He retired. Anyway, I'm going down a tangent here. I'm just kind of curious about how that all works.
Yeah, basically they own your rights from the length of the contract. So like when Gronkowski retired from the Patriots and took a year off, he had still a 2-year deal with them. So when he went to Tampa Bay to go sign, they had to trade him. They traded like a 7th round pick or something like that as compensation for the deal.
Got it. All right.
All right, who's got the next hot take? We got to go back to Joey. Jody, what do you got?
This is like really hot and spicy, and it's a future hot take that's going to put mustard on your hot dog. Justin Fields is going to have the best career out of any QB in his draft class.
That's not a high bar currently.
Super bold considering the minimum that he has done. But with that being said, he's in a garbage system, and he does not have a lot of weapons. And if that can change, I could see him having a way better career than guys like Trevor Lawrence and them.
See, I kind of see Justin Fields as Cam Newton, but smaller, lesser. He's like Cam Newton light. That's how he wants to play his game, it seems. Like he can run the ball, he can pass the ball, but I think he runs the ball better than what he throws, to be honest. And some people might argue that, but one injury in, and are we going to see the same Fields? Is that really going to, be his driving force?
Why isn't Chicago running a system similar to what they're doing in Atlanta with Marcus Mariota? You have 2 really, really competent running backs in David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert, and then you have Fields, who the last 2 games they've let him run a little bit more. He had 80 rushing yards against the Patriots, and guess what? It has really worked. You need to come up with a dynamic running game and pass off of that. I don't know if that means RPOs or whatever. Get super creative and don't rely on him passing the ball at all. I think you could be successful in this league playing that way with Justin Fields. And if he turns into 80% of the quarterback that Cam Newton was, hey now, if you get 80% of the quarterback that Cam Newton was, smash spot for being the best quarterback in this draft. Because if you look at the rest of them, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, who the hell else was that? Davis Mills,
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Okay, so of those guys right now, who's been the best in the NFL? It's probably Mac Jones, and that's not saying anything.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
You think Lawrence has been the best in the NFL?
I would put Mac over Trevor, but I also think Trevor is better than Mac.
I think
No. I'm not saying who's the best quarterback. I'm saying to this point, who has had the best NFL career?
Probably Mac. Yeah.
Mac.
Probably Mac. Yeah.
I guess
it's such a low bar for him.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Fields doesn't have that much to clear to be the best.
That's what I'm saying.
They need to do the 2021 Jalen Hurts offense from Philly. That's what they need to give him.
He's the best Ohio State quarterback since Mike Tomczak. I'll give you that.
That's not
another very high bar to clear.
Also, not the highest of bars.
Right.
I don't think that take is that far.
Yeah, honestly, after I say that, I realize it really isn't. I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see his ceiling because this is the first week too that we saw the Bears start running these like designed quarterback runs and completely changed the offense. They absolutely smacked the Patriots around. The Pats had no idea what to do, and we saw a side of Justin Fields that we've seen flashes of, but put it all together and you win a big football game. So
it's almost like having it's almost like having a mobile quarterback's a good thing.
Yeah, and like
I think people will catch on eventually. It's okay.
Except Atlanta.
Except Atlanta. Yeah.
What?
Atlanta's great.
I like Mariota.
No, but they haven't caught on yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, need a nice mobile quarterback like Tua. All right, anyway, who's got the next one?
I can go. All right, so my take is that McCaffrey won't be as productive in San Francisco as he was in Carolina. And it kind of pains me to say this because, I'm a big McCaffrey fan, but Kyle Shanahan, his offenses love the positionless player, right? They have that in Debo. Now they have that in McCaffrey. In spades, they have this, right? So are they going to lean on him for 20 plus touches? I don't think so. And, it's going to be a combination of him, of Debo, of Kittle. Jeff Wilson's still in the picture, of course, for the touchdown vulture. What about next year? What's going to happen when Trey Lance returns? How is he going to fit in with that offense? So I kind of have questions there, and I'm thinking that he's not going to meet those high expectations that he had producing in Carolina.
I think that's fair, and certainly from a fantasy perspective, I have my concerns about his ability because he's not going to get any of that what I call the El Garbage at the end of every game, which is the final drive when the Panthers are down by 15 and they just give him 6 passes for 50 yards and he goes on his way.
Well, now he does more than that.
No, but that's at the end.
That helps. That helps him though.
Well,
if he had 12 fantasy points, you knew that he was going to get to 20 because that last drive was 8 easy because it didn't matter and he was just going to catch the ball every time. Now in San Francisco, he's definitely, no doubt, going to get less touches. He's no doubt also going to be more effective EPA per play wise during those touches. But I think that it's more of do you think that San Francisco's offense as a whole, because of the positionless player, because they're going to have guys in motion all over the place, do you think that it raises the bar for what that offense can be? And I think that unequivocally, the answer is yes. McCaffrey on a play-per-play basis, production, stats, I think it probably will be depressed a little bit. But I don't necessarily think it's because of McCaffrey's inability to be successful. It's just a matter of volume.
Right.
If it wasn't for the garbage time stuff, I would kind of disagree. I think McCaffrey, once he starts learning this offense more, he's going to get more involved. Will he have the same amount of workload as he did in Carolina? Definitely not. But I don't know. This is a way better scheme, way better offense, and way better coaching and weapons around him. For what he's going to get less, he could easily make just as much production out of it. Problem is, with fantasy terms, the garbage time probably is going to hurt him because in Carolina, he'll have 10 points going into the last 2 minutes and then finish with 25. So
you need to he needs to replace the garbage drive with touchdowns, which he didn't have in Carolina, which hopefully he will have in San Francisco with more opportunities. Then it's maybe even.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, he still scored touchdowns in Carolina.
Yeah, but he'll score more. He just has to score more, like Jason said, score more than to make up for the garbage time.
I hope I'm wrong because I'm a big McCaffrey fan. But
you're also a McCaffrey fan.
Yes. I just kind of see that San Francisco system as being a little bit of a downturn for his production.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Dan, what do you got?
All right, so keeping on the Panther theme, I think that PJ Walker keeps the quarterback job for the rest of the year, and he leads the Panthers to win the NFC South.
Wow. I mean, hey, we talked about this before. If Baltimore beats Tampa Bay tomorrow, Thursday, and Carolina beats Atlanta, Carolina's at first place in the NFC South.
It sounds much more spicy than it actually is because the division is so terrible.
Lots of time to go.
But really, I think that, Devontae Foreman and Hubbard showed that the running game just didn't cease to exist when they trade away McCaffrey. If they can follow that, kind of what we want Chicago to do with the Fields, if they can lean on the running game, lean on the defense, and keep PJ Walker from making egregious mistakes, and he plays that kind of game he played last week, where he gives them like 2 touchdowns and doesn't throw 3 picks. That division is there for the taking for them. Tampa Bay is not going to win that division. Like Tom Brady is the same boat as Aaron Rodgers. He's just not there this year. The Saints hopefully just lose the rest of their games so the Eagles can draft Will Anderson. And the Falcons, while decent, I just don't have much faith in the Falcons too. I think that the Panthers have probably the best or one of the best defenses in the division. Maybe Tampa Bay has a little bit better, but definitely good enough where they can win the NFC South.
I mean, shit, I agree. I'm with you. I mean, Tom Brady, I'm going to say it, GOAT or not, I think he completely lost the locker room of that team. They're a mess. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He's playing terrible. The offense looks terrible. Him and the receivers, completely different page. On the other side, you got Atlanta, who, they're up in the air. I don't know. Carolina just smacked Tampa Bay around. Like, that just shows that they could easily compete. I think maybe cleaning the house was nothing but a good thing for them. So, I don't know. Something to be excited about from a Panther fan.
Yeah. A little bit of excitement.
A little bit.
Did
you see the confetti?
Come on, you got rid of the negatives, and I'm not calling McCaffrey a negative, but
right. But Robert Anderson.
I mean, we'll see. PJ Walker, I mean, he's got a confidence boost now, and it's obvious that his coach thinks so as well. So that's a kind of a feather in his cap. he's got to keep that. He's got to sustain that level of success, and I think they can build off of that. We know that confidence is built off of wins and also momentum. And right now, Carolina is starting to get that. If they can beat Atlanta, first of all, they're 2-0 in the division, which helps. If they can beat Atlanta this week, and then they play someone else, and then Atlanta again 2 weeks later, that might kind of say exactly how things might be going there. So
favorite stat of last week too that I just have to throw out is 2 XFL quarterbacks, Heineke and Walker, coming to the NFL week 7 and take down Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. That's unbelievable.
That's good.
Everyone wants to laugh at the Walker destroyed the XFL.
Yeah.
He killed
MVP.
it there. Yeah. So, I mean, just play mistake-free football. You can get there.
Also, who knew that Giselle was the person behind Tom Brady's success?
Yep.
He won a Super Bowl before she was around. Actually, he won 3. So, okay.
Fair enough.
Did Bridget Moynihan pass over the deed to Tom Brady to Giselle? And that's how this all worked out? I don't know. Also, spicy take on top of your spicy take, Carolina's looking to win 1 game the rest of the year. So you guys are wrong.
What a disagreement.
All right.
Earlier in the year, Jason was all over Carolina, and now he's like poo-pooing them.
You get nothing.
Come on. 2 times against Atlanta, then they play Russ, then they play Seattle. That's the team to fear right now.
Seattle's good. Yeah.
1 game rest of the year.
Lions.
There's no reason for them to win.
Which one?
They need to take to get a fucking quarterback. There's no reason for them to win. And also, if anyone's ever watched Steve Wilkes coach before, when he was in Arizona, he's not a good head coach. He's not a very good head coach.
Someone has to.
He seems like a very nice person, but he is not a very good head coach. There's no reason for them to win. And Dr. Pepper, David Tepper might be smart to tell the team to lose games because they need a fucking quarterback, and they haven't been able to trade for any. And they have no picks left. Although they got some from San Francisco, but still.
Why do they need a quarterback?
Why does any team need a quarterback?
Why? Your QB just beat Tom Brady.
There
Keep him. Trust him. Give him a couple more weeks. And if he only wins 1 more game, then he's out.
We'll see.
Okay.
That's why they play the games, right?
I'm not trusting Walker, Texas Ranger, as my quarterback.
Walker deserves a chance, I think.
He got one. He's played each of the last 2 years.
He did have a ton of games.
He has a 3-1 career record, right?
Right. He beat Tom Brady.
He beat Tom Brady.
He also threw for 6 passing yards against the Rams the week before. Give me a fucking break.
Everyone has bad games once in a while. It happens.
Yeah,
Holy shit, he had 60 passes.
Aaron Rodgers lost to the Commanders, so I mean, what are we saying here, really?
He also has 200 or 100 career wins or whatever. It's like
back-to-back MVPs.
We're talking about the past. This was this year. We got to be current now.
Okay, it's small sample size. All right, I'll close it out with another. We'll talk about the Colts for a second. Why not? I think the move to start Sam Ehlinger was perhaps the dumbest decision I've ever seen out of a franchise in history of the NFL.
Why?
And I think that Matt Ryan has been horrific this season. Because has anyone watched Sam Ehlinger ever play football? He's horrendous. He's horrendous. Now, I understand that they want him to move around the pocket a little bit. First of all, he's got tinier hands than Donald Trump. He can't move. His thighs rub together like he's fucking Beyonce. This guy can't play quarterback. He's 8C thick. Have you seen this guy before? His bottom half looks like he was built to he looks like he's a running back, not a quarterback. They say he's 6'3". He's actually 5'11". He's got
Sounds like Kyler Murray.
He's got a little wimpy fucking dinosaur arm. There's no reason for him to be playing quarterback in the NFL. Matt Ryan has been terrible. That's fine. Go start Nick Foles. They like him for his leadership. You know how much leadership matters when you're a rookie quarterback? Fucking nothing. Can you throw the ball downfield? He can't. This stinks.
Jeez, man. What did he ever do to you?
Exists.
Why?
Apparently.
Why not?
I lost so much money on him in Texas. No.
That's what it was.
The
truth comes out.
Come on. I like it. Why not take a shot? You have a great run game. JT's back.
Do they have a great run game? They have a bottom 5 offensive line in the NFL, and Jonathan Taylor hasn't rushed for more than 70 yards the past 6 weeks.
He'll be back better than ever. He'll be back. And
He's not even a top 10. He's not even a top 10 running back in the NFL anymore.
Yeah, I did say that in the hot takes. I did say that. I said he's going to finish outside the top 10. Flip it. Yeah, I don't know. The Colts are a dumpster fire. They're actually probably one of the grossest teams in the NFL right now. But how did their O-line get so bad? They had a top 5 offensive line not even 2 years ago, I would say. But things change, I guess.
Injuries and age and not signing good players.
That's enough. Good players is
there it is.
Usually a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have Quentin Nelson, right? Who's their other? They lost a guard though, didn't they? Another guard, or maybe it was a right tackle. But yeah, they're struggling.
Quentin Nelson can't block 4 people at once, though.
No.
Not great. All right. I think we're done. I think we're tapped out of hot takes. We'll be back next week, Week 9 NFL Hot Takes. Until then, if you want to win a Joe Mixon or an Amari Cooper signed jersey, text us at 310-564-7176 with the code Spooky Season to enter our private 7 Stakes contest for Monday Night Football. Until this weekend, boys, let's make some money. Good luck with more hot takes. Hopefully I'm right about Sam Ehlinger stinking. That's all I got to say. Go Packers, plus 11, plus 525 on the money line. I'm going to send you my ticket from Circa. You're goddamn right I will.
And we're out.
See you guys.
So, yeah.